Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to Stories, the Path of Destinies, an exclusive early look. This is a thing. Yes, indeed, we've got ourselves an awesome preview build of the game here for your delectation. So let's dig in and find out what this is all about, because it does look to be a very, very charming game. I say right, the charming game. I'm just gonna start now. I'm sorry.
Years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Called the Raven captain over the loud hailer.
That's the least threatening voice.
Up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Renato yelled back.
Okay.
Where can you run? Laughed
I
the
love
Raven
that voice.
horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take us to the rebel base, and we'll spare your life. It called.
Sorry for that.
The entire
voice.
jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that,
Not
were only
the
the
frog
pillars of
people.
heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle.
The good old legendary
His old friend
weapon.
Latino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off. Not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper.
Ooh. Interesting. So, as the Path of Destinies would imply, we have choices to make during this game. The rebellion was out of time and now needed a game changer. Even though Lapino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer, he could come up with some harebrained scheme. Maybe rescuing was worth it. An ancient artifact that defeated the lost gods would indeed be a game changer, though it was split into 2 pieces many years ago. I mean, come on now. We're going after the weapon.
Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Well, okay then. That's a very interesting start to things. So I wonder how many of those choices we're going to have to make and how much impact they have on the game. I mean, so far, I do like the storybook introduction. I do, and the actual art style of what we've seen. Oh, look at that.
Renato could not help but feel a tinge of guilt. He'd left Lapino behind. He hoped the Mad Rabbit had somehow escaped the Ravens. He hoped they hadn't eaten him. If they had, he hoped they hadn't eaten him alive.
Oh,
Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Ooh, so maybe I've chosen the wrong choice here. So here, whoa! Holy hell, that is awesome! Okay, so we can dash around, we can slash people up.
Thought Renato. Keeps you limber.
Ah, so we've got ourselves a like, ever-present narrator voiceover that's actually reacting to what we're doing. That's actually really cool, and I have multiple weapons, it would seem, that I can...
Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Okay, then. So we have multiple weapons to swap between. We have a dash ability based on the charges at the bottom. And actually, visually, it's quite nice. Very bright in its own way, despite us being in a dark area, which I always like. And just a nice, clean, simple aesthetic. I mean, it's a little bit hard to pick out the detail of our character. Apparently, we're a fox man. Ah! Savor the Foxyverse!
I really like the sound made in the air.
Okay, I really do like the sort of sentient narrator reacting to what we're doing. That is definitely amusing. So, I'm assuming then a little bit of a hack and slash is the name of the game. So, as we're a Firefox, we seem to have these powers. So, let's go on and see what the actual combat's like then if we find someone. But I'm kind of liking this so far. I mean, I always did want to be a fire-based sword-wielding fox that could teleport. You know, it's one of my long dreams. You know, I often wake up in the night and make fox screams. No, but seriously, have you heard a fox scream? There is nightmare fuel. They are demonic entities, and I am convinced that foxes are the herald of the harbingers of death. Seriously.
No?
Okay. So I have to actually time my attacks correctly. Otherwise, I get hit. And I can actually dash through people, but when we're in combat lock, the camera's zooming in. That's pretty cool. So, and it currently stands, it does feel very much I'm spamming one button to win, but then again, this is the, the introductory combat, so not too worried. And I did get hit like twice, so fair enough. And then we get a little combat report on our XP. I kind of like that. A little bit more of a you're in combat, focus down, this is combat mode, instead of just enemies getting in your way while you're traveling. I can totally deal with that. So this looks more of a puzzle-based element. I assume I don't want to be caught by the light, as I admit. Oh my god.
All right. No one.
I literally chopped it in half. I actually... Oh my god, that is... Okay, now I feel bad for Lampino, because he probably actually got murdered. That is incredible. So I can put my sword in there and release the door.
What's there?
Which gives me access to a secret area. I am really loving...
Just wondering.
I am really loving the narrator. That is by far and away my favorite thing so far. It gives me memories of The Bard's Tale, which was a game I played with also a narrator that would react to what you do, and the Bard would actually talk back to the narrator, and it was fantastic.
Stayed back and logged pain and death from a distance. Cowards.
So based on the direction that I'm holding, I'll actually switch where I'm aiming in the middle of combat. It's actually like a rudimentary sort of Batman combat system. That's really neat. I've got a lot of flexibility as to where I'm attacking and when.
Something he could use.
Okay, that's
Renato
very
wondered
cool.
if any other legendary artifacts were showing up. For example, the glass armor. Light as silk, but stronger than steel. Renato was in favor of anything that resulted in him not being stabbed.
I don't blame him. You know, generally, I am very much against being stabbed as well. The truth behind the Skyripper is shrouded in the thickest fog. Most believe the tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used it to Skyripper to banish Iblis. Could the Skyripper Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My rituals will summon it, but gods are predictable, and I can rely on that to always be one step ahead. Okay, so interesting little bits of lore around the world.
Only some kind of magic fire sword.
Okay, so he said fire sword despite it needing to be an ice sword. I sense a slight mistake! Game literally unplayable. Narrator said something different to the text. That's it, we're done now. We're absolutely done. Do I really want to go near the fox? It's fine.
Ready to learn new things. Thank goodness you didn't have to go to school for that.
Okay, so we actually have a hook shot. That's pretty cool. We've got our dash, and it was a talent to dash through enemies, so that's kind of cool. Increases maximum health. Increases maximum stamina. Let's do that.
His old skills.
Oh yeah.
He was at a reunion.
Oh yeah. So look, we have ourselves the hook shot. Awesome. So what is that gonna do for us? Interesting. Can I open this one? I can open this one. This sword seems to be quite useful. So can I get through This? No, I can't. What about this sword? No. So I've got to find various different magical swords with different properties, and then that will let me unlock different areas. So it's kind of a sword-based version of find the red key, find the green key, and you know what? There's nothing too wrong with that. That's really not that bad. Can I dash? No, I can't. Oh, I'm dead.
Everything hurt. And then it didn't.
Ooh, that's quite a poetic bit of death there, isn't it? Holy crap. Everything hurt and then it didn't. Damn. Alright, let's get rid of them. Slice their asses in half. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, that looks really cool to just dash towards them and then fuck them up. Look at that. Is that not fantastic? Ow, my face! My foxy face! Wait, no, that's probably the wrong way to describe it, isn't it? Where are you? Oh, he's literally right there. Okay. I mean, I guess he just ran out of light beam projection. You know, it happens to the best of them. Alright, well, we can get rid of him, but I am concerned as... I can actually grapple people towards me. That's interesting. It seems obviously very useful. So there's actually a lot I can do in these fights, because I got to stay active, because I'm actually really squishy when it comes to taking beatdowns. Look at that! Does it not look really awesome when we're actually killing people? And it does feel very, very smooth. I actually like that we're very killable in a few hits. I mean, it makes sense. We're only made out of squishy fox flesh. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you've ever pounded a fox, wait.
I loved puzzles. Except when you couldn't figure it out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
That is true. Puzzles definitely are for the keeping away of good things, so there you go. But as I'm saying, if any of you have ever punched a fox, you would know that their flesh tends to be spongy and weak, so good accurate representation by the developers of the game here. Alright, so... well, I mean, that's gotta help,
Most
right?
people still use doorknobs.
Okay, I think you could have a lot of fun in this game just listening to the narrator's shenanigans. I really, really do. So, the question is then, I guess what I need to happen here is this one to go all the way around and make a sort of S-shaped connection with that, and then I can get across. See, nothing gets past me. Okay, narrator. Alright, you don't need to say the same thing of me. That's creepy, man. I know I'm amazing, but you don't have to copy me. Come on. Do I have any points? I do not indeed. So goodbye, foxy altar of angelic foxiness. Alright, well that was quite an impressive door. Ooh, have we got ourselves a new relic?
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist, but first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart, a core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Okay, so again, we've got to choose the path of destiny that we're going to take. And for some inexplicable reason, Renato chose, so you could really go down a moronic route and end up in a stupid situation.
He sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices.
Poor Lapino.
And he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
So there we have it. That was your exclusive little look at Stories, The Path of Destinies. That is I like that. It's very interesting. It's very well told in how the narrator is reacting to what you do. Actually having the choices to make and changing your playthrough, that obviously would lead to multiple viable playthroughs, and being able to go full bastard mode and sacrifice all your friend and then make stupid random decisions. I must get the legendary sword! Actually, we'll only get one part now to fight the main bad guy! I mean, I like that. You don't often get that kind of freedom in a game. I think this is pretty good. I think there's a lot of potential here. I'm liking it. I am. So there you go, guys. What do you think? Stories, Path of Destinies. Interesting. Definitely an interesting one. My name has been Rage, and like you've enjoyed this. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. A goodbye.